guys are going to say I'm getting out over my skis. I try not to be overreactive.
Do it. I can't wait to hear
I'm going to do it. CJ Stroud's an elite quarterback.
He's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Well, statistically speaking this year, if you're looking at picks and that sort of thing,
I mean,
if they won out, somebody said if they won out, would he win the MVP?
But I asked you that last week when I had mentioned, MVP after he had that
laughed.
one game, and everyone.
Well, I didn't know they were going to go on the road and beat the Bengals.
yeah, I didn't know all that.
You want to do stuff. You want to do.
Hold on a minute,
player. You want to do stuff like this? You want to win games like this down the stretch? They will talk about you in that light, and they should.
3 turnovers
because Kyle
on the road.
I can watch a freaking Lions game. I can watch a Dolphins game. I can watch some of these other offenses that are high-powered. And, they'll rack up yards, and some of the chunk plays are there. And not all these balls are tight window throws that CJ Stroud's making, but they are elite arm talent fucking throws. They are like wow throws. Like when you watch John Phillips hit a softball, the way it's different in our softball league, like it's just like, oh, my God, this guy's different. It's the same thing with bro. The boot, when he booted to the left hash and threw the ball and then bounced to the right hash and threw the ball to the opposite numbers, 41 yards down the field in the air. I mean, my jaw was on the floor. When it was in the third quarter, when he boots out into Trey Hendrickson, and he's like, oh, shit. And then he climbs the pocket, bails out the back of it, and wheels backwards. And he's like, whee, 37 yards in the air to Noah Brown, just jumping. It's like, dude, the fucking flick of the wrist to Tank Dell by the pylon to get him inside the fine.
The most impressive one to me was the one that didn't count as a touchdown. It was the Robert Woods illegal touchdown. I mean, what the fuck is going on out here?
Who the fuck is this guy? And how did people miss this so badly?
Because he scored poorly on that test.
Because honestly, Kyle, you want to talk about rookie quarterbacks? I've been out of the game for 4 or 5 years doing this for a living and watching quarterbacks. Like when I played them, you watched them getting ready for the game. But now I have to watch quarterbacks. And I don't think I haven't seen a rookie like this. But on top of that, the last guy that reminded me of this kind of great, like when he came in, was the guy on the other sideline yesterday. That poise in the pocket, that cool, like, I don't know who has more ice water in their veins, him or Joe Burrow. And so, like, to go beat that guy with the Ohio State background, the whole thing, this is a huge game for them. He was unflappable. Logan Wilson almost picked him early in the game. He was mugged up. He dropped out. He was like, okay, this
called that on Tops, by the way.
Yeah, that Logan might.
I said double nickels. Watch him being mugged up in the A gap and dropping out. They're going to show CJ this, and they're going to. And he almost fucking had it.
Yeah, well, he didn't pick him, and then he comes back and he's like, let's just run our offense. Let me just go. Or late in the game, throwing that pick, coming back in 2 minutes, and just moving the ball down the field. Not to mention the first play of that 2-minute drive is a drop by Tank Dell that could go for 25 yards. A lot of guys are going to go in the tank after that. So I just, not only the high-end throws, but his fucking, what?
Tank. A lot of guys going to that.
That's true. I didn't even mean to do that. When you're cooking, you're cooking. But, he's just unflappable.
Noah Brown is a man.
He's a man, bro.
And when they threw him the ball and they had to have it, he looked like Adrian Peterson
with 3
bodies on him. Like, I'm going to take this football where I want to go.
He trucked the linebacker. That's not a buddy pass, but he's going to get blown up.
He looked like a cold. Everyone wanted to avoid him. Every time they moved around, he just dropped him.
No question.
Rankins, great job on defense.
This is what I want to talk about, Kyle.
Bringing everybody's game up. I mean, that's what it is. And D'Amico was like, at the beginning of the year, they got to win early. And he was like, just believe we're building something here. Like, the vibe is different now. They have a living quarters now. They're just building additions on.